Good afternoon, students. So in the last class, we have seen the data transfer instructions. No? So today I want to explain you the continuation of this data transfer instructions. Okay. Okay. So if we see this data transfer instruction, data processing instructions, we completed with 1 second. So we completed with arithmetic and logical instructions. No? Okay. So today I will explain you about the data movement. So data movement instructions. So if you see the data movement instructions, you have two instructions. Those are nothing but data move, move instruction, move and negate. Okay. So here if you see, this is the format, data movement instruction format, operation, and there will be some condition. Operation is nothing but opcode and the condition. And yes means this will update the flags the CPSR register, RD, RN. Okay. So 1 second. I'm looking for this pen. So here if you see, SC is nothing but optional. Okay. So that is specifies that conditional flags are updated in the result of the operation. Okay. So whatever the conditional flags are there, like carry flag, zero flag, those will be updated. And RD is nothing but the destination register. RN is nothing but register which holds the operand. Okay. And next operand 2 is nothing but you are getting from the barrel shifter. Okay. So this is about the instruction format. So next if you see, so this is one example, move R0 comma hash 42 is there. So what you are doing here, you are moving the content of, that means you are moving the immediate value. So whatever the immediate value is there, you are moving into R0 register. Okay. So you need to remember this is a R0 is a 32-bit register. Okay, R0 should be a 32-bit register. And move R2 comma R3 is nothing but you are moving the content of R3 into R2. So in R3 previously there's some value will be there. Okay. So whatever that value is there, you are copying into the register R2. Okay. And move N. So move N is MVN is nothing but move and negate. So first of all, move and negate R1 comma R0 means first you have to compute the 2's complement for this one. Okay. So after completing the 2's complement, you need to so whatever the result you are getting, that you need to store in the R1 register. Okay. So this is nothing but move and negate. Okay. Next. So next if you see, so these are the examples. Move R0 comma R2 is there. So that means what you are doing, whatever the content of R2 is there, you are moving into R0. And move and negate is nothing but 1 second. Can you able to see the full screen here? So see here, move and negate R2. So that is R naught equal to complement of R2. So move and negate. So this is nothing but move and negate. So let us consider R5 equal to 5 and R7 equal to 8. Okay. So R7 equal to 8. So what you are doing? So whatever the content of R5 are there, you are moving into R7. So after performing this instruction, R5 will be 5 and R7 will be 5. So that means R5 consists of 5. No? So that means again you are moving into, so R7 will be updated. So initially it is 8, it will be updated with 5. Okay. So this is, so next comparison instruction, if you see the, this is a operation condition. So whatever the operation you need to do, this is the instruction format. So whatever the operation you need to do, this is the operation and the condition. There will be some condition within an instruction that we will see in the coming slides. So Rn is nothing but destination register Rn and operand. Okay. So here there is a compare instruction. So what the compare instruction you will do? Simply it will uh, subtract the content of two registers. The result will be not stored in any of the registers. Simply it will update the flags. Okay. So this is the compare instruction. And next, so compare and negate is there. So compare and negate means it is adding the content of two registers. Okay. So that means in compare, the result will be not stored. Just it will add Rn with operand 2 and flags will be set. After whatever the result you are getting, flags will be set. Okay. Here also flags will be set for compare and compare negate. And test is nothing but bitwise test. It will do the AND operation. So same thing, in the AND operation, the result will be stored in the destination register, but in the test, the result will be not stored in any of the destination register. Just flags will be affected, flags will be updated. So here it will do the AND operation Rn with operand 2. Okay, and test and equality. So test and equality, if you see, so this is this will do the XOR operation. Okay. So test and equality means nothing but it will do the XOR operation and result will be not stored, just it will affect the flags. Okay. So as I told you, comparison does not produce any results. They just set the condition codes. Okay. So this is about the comparison instruction. So here you have the some examples. Compare R1 comma R2. So what it will do? It will subtract content of R1 and content of R2 from content of R1. So it sets the carry flag. Okay, sets the carry flag. Compare and negate. So it will set the carry flag on R1 plus R2. So compare and negate is nothing but addition. So it will add the content of R1 with the content of R2. Okay, that is nothing but compare and negate. Test test of equality. So test and equality means it sets the carry flag on R1 XOR of R2. So test for equality means, as you know, that XOR gate is nothing but OR detector. So if both inputs are same, you are getting the output as 0. Okay. So it will perform the XOR operation. After performing, so the carry flag will be set. Okay. And next, test instruction. Test will set the carry flag on R1 and R2. Okay. So R1 and R2. So that means test instruction perform bitwise AND operation on the value Rn and the value of operand 2. So this is same as AND S. So we have seen the AND S, no? So AND S means that will update the flags in the CPSR register. Those are conditional flags. Except this test is in the test, the result is discarded. Whereas in AND, the result will be stored in some destination register. Okay. So this is about test. So this is one example. If you see, so here CPSR is NZ, CV, QI, FT and user. So you need to concentrate on these conditional flags NZ, CV. Initially R0 is 4 and R9 is 4. You're comparing the content of R0 and R9. Both are equal means R0 minus R9. So what is the value you are getting? 0. Okay. So 0 flag, initially it is in small letter, it becomes capital letter. That means 0 flag becomes, initially it is 0 before executing an instruction, this instruction. After executing the instruction, the 0 flag becomes 1. This indicates that this is a capital letter. Okay. So next we will see the in the data processing mul instructions. Okay, multiplication instructions. So mul is nothing but multiply. So it is a simplest multiplication instruction. Okay, it multiply 32-bit numbers. Okay, so that means it will multiply the 32-bit numbers. Okay, held in the register, and it will store the 32-bit result in the destination register. So that means if we are multiplying the 32-bit numbers, so you get result in suppose if you are getting the result as 32-bit, so that will be stored in the destination register. Suppose you are multiplying two 32-bit numbers together, which you are getting the result as 64-bit. Okay, 64-bit. Then you should use some signed multiplication in this. Okay. So mul instruction. So that means you need to remember mul instruction will store only 32-bit result. Okay. So mul instruction only store the lower 32-bit of the product. Suppose if you are getting the 64-bit, but mul instruction will store only lower 32-bit of the product. Okay. So suppose if you are multiplying two 32-bit numbers, suppose if you are getting 64-bit product. Okay. So these whatever the 64-bit products is there, these are retained by these instructions: unsigned mul, unsigned mul and multiply and accumulate, signed multiplication, signed multiply and accumulate. Okay, these are some multiplication instruction. These are the syntax. So if you see MLA, MLA is nothing but multiply and accumulate, condition, and yes, yes is nothing but this will update the flags in the CPSR, conditional flags in the CPSR. RD is nothing but a destination register. RM is some, so RM, RS, and RN are nothing but some source register. So if you perform this multiply and accumulate, what it will do? It will multiply the content of RM and content of RS, and whatever the result you are getting, that will be added with RN, and you will get some result, no, that will be stored in RD. Okay, that is nothing but multiply and accumulate. So you are multiplying, after multiplying whatever the result you are getting, you are adding to Rn. Okay, so that is multiply and accumulate. Okay, so next mul instruction. So if you see the mul instruction, uh, so simply it will multiply the content of so here this is the format: mul condition yes rd rm comma rs. So it will multiply the content of rm and rs. Whatever the result you are getting, that will be stored in rd. Okay, so you need to remember, suppose when you are multiplying two 32-bit numbers, suppose if you are getting 64-bit, this multiply instruction will only store the lower 32-bit value in RD, destination register. Okay, that you need to remember. Okay, so next, so these are the signed multiplication and unsigned multiplication. So this is the instruction, condition, and yes bit. So yes, yes is stands for updating the flags in the CPSR. So RD low means the lower 32-bit value in RD and higher 32-bit value in RD. Okay, RD L0, RD HI. So RD low, RD high. RD low means lower 32-bit values in RD and higher 32-bit values in RD. Comma RM, comma RS. Okay. So SMLAL. So that means signed, multiply, and accumulate. So that means it will multiply RM with RS plus RD high and RD low will be added, and whatever the result is there, that will be stored in lower 32-bit value will be stored in RD low, and higher 32-bit value will be stored in RD high. Okay, and next SMULL, signed multiplication. So when you are doing two 32-bit multiplication, RM multiplication with RS, both are 32-bit registers. So you can get the 64-bit value. Lower 32-bit value will be stored in RD low, and higher 32-bit value will be stored in RD high. Okay, and UMLAL, unsigned multiply and long. So that means so this is unsigned multiply and accumulate. So that means you are multiplying RM with RS and added with RD high and RD low. So whatever the 64-bit value is there, you are storing in RD high and RD low. Unsigned multiply long. So same thing. So this is unsigned. So just SMULL is nothing but signed multiplication. It will multiply along with the sign. MULL means unsigned multiplication. Suppose if you want the result in 64-bit, so you need to use unsigned multiplication long. Okay. So this is about multiplication. So this is the format of multiplication: multiply and accumulate and multiply. Okay. So this condition is nothing but there will be some condition within an instruction. If condition is satisfied, then it will execute the instruction. If condition is not satisfied, it will not execute the instruction. Okay. S is optional. Okay. S specifies that it will update the flags, conditional flags in the CPSR. RD is nothing but destination register, and these all are nothing but operands, which are source registers. Okay. So so we should not use R15 as a RD, RM, RS, or RN. Okay. So RD cannot be same as RM. Okay. This is one example. Multiply R0, R1, R2. So that means you are multiplying the content of R1 and content of R2, and whatever the result you are getting, that you are storing in R0. That means you are storing lower 32-bit value. Okay. Multiply and accumulate. So that means you are multiplying R1 with R2 and adding with R5. Okay. First you need to multiply these two. Okay. R1 multiplication with R2 and added with R5. So whatever the result you are getting, that will be stored in R10. And MULS is nothing but so it will update the flags in the CPSR. Okay. Conditional flag. S is nothing but it's a suffix like this. Okay. So it will multiply R2 and R2. Whatever the result is there, it will be stored in R0. After storing the result in R0, it will update the flag. Suppose if you are getting a carry flag, the carry flag will be stored, will becomes 1. Okay. So this is about multiplication. Similarly, you have unsigned mul and unsigned multiply and accumulate, signed mul and signed multiply and accumulate. Okay, this is the format. So operation is this one: unsigned MULL and unsigned multiply and accumulate. And condition, so it is optional. S is nothing but suffix. Okay, so this will update the conditional flags. So these are RDH low and RDH high, which will hold the values, 64-bit value. These are holding the operands. Okay, the same thing. You need to remember RD low and RD high and RM all should be different register. So should be different register. Okay, so this is the format. So we can use the instruction. Same thing, whatever explained. So we can see the theory part in this slide. So these are the some examples like unsigned mul R0, R4, R5, R7. R5 will be multiplied with R7. So you are getting the 64-bit result. Lower 32-bit value will be stored in R0 and higher 32-bit value will be stored in R4. Okay. UMLAL is nothing but it will multiply R3 with R8 plus R5 and R4. Okay, that will be added. Okay, R5 and R4 will be added. Whatever the result is there, that will be stored in R4 and R5. So lower 32-bit value will be stored in R5 and higher 32-bit value will be stored in R4. Okay, and next signed multiplication, that is same thing, signed multiply and accumulate long. Okay, so it will multiply R3 with R8 and added with R5 and R4. So whatever the result you are getting, that will be stored in R5 and R4. So lower 32-bit value will be stored in R4 and higher 32-bit value will be stored in R5. Signed multiplication. So simply it will do the multiplication of two 32-bit numbers. So you are getting the result as a 64-bit. So lower 32-bit value will be stored in R0 and higher 32-bit value will be stored in R4. Okay. So this is about signed and unsigned multiply and accumulate. Okay. So these are the examples. Multiply and accumulate R4, R3, R2, R1. So that this will multiply R3 into R2 plus R1. Result will be stored in R4. Okay. So here these are same. Like multiply R1 comma 35. Sorry, move R1 comma 35. Multiply R1 into R2. Okay. So you can add. That means you can do the add R0, R0 comma R0 comma R0 left shift by two positions. So that means what happens? Uh, so left shift means it will be multiplied by 4 added with R. So that becomes 5R0. Okay. So RSB, R2, R0, R0 left shift by 3 positions. So that means reverse subtract. Reverse subtract means it will add. Okay. Now what is R0 5? So left, here this is different. So when you are left shifting by 3 positions means the number will be multiplied by 8. Okay. So 8 minus 1. So you'll get 7R0. Okay. So like this you can analyze. So this is a multiplication. So let us consider before executing an instruction, this instruction R0 equal to 0x 8 zeros, R1 equal to 0x 6 zeros 2 and R2 equal to 0x 7 zeros 2. Okay. So you know that it will do the multiplication instruction R0 comma R1 comma R2. So that means it will multiply R1 into R2. So 2 2s are how much? 4 you are getting. Okay. So the result will be stored in R0 and R1 R2 remains same. The values remains same. Okay. This is about the multiplication. So this is unsigned multiplication. Let us consider R0 is all zeros, R1 is all zeros, R2 is 0x F602 and R3 is 0x 602. Okay. Unsigned multiplication. So unsigned multiplication means what? Uh, it will multiply R2 with R3, but you are getting the result as 64-bit. Okay. So lower 32-bit value will be stored in uh, which register R1 and higher 32-bit value will be stored in which register R0. Okay. So here what you are getting, R0 equal to 0xe604 and R1 equal to 0x701. So how you are getting, I will show you. 1 second. So here I am sharing the calculator. Okay. So here you should use programmers. Okay. So programmers calculator. In this programmers calculator, you need to select hex. Okay. So in my instruction, what is in my instruction? So what is so it will multiply R2 with R3. No. So R2, what is R2? 0x F602. No. Okay. So F 6 zeros 2 multiplied with R3 is how much? 0x702. Okay. So 7 zeros. Let us take into 2. Okay. So here you got this result. Okay. So this is nothing but lower 32-bit value. Okay, so lower 32-bit value will be stored in which register? R0. Okay, and higher 32-bit value, that is 0x701. Okay, so 0x701. So here you can add 7 ones to left side, the value will not change. Okay, so if we are padding, we are adding 7 zeros to left side, the value will not change. So that means so 0, 0, 0, 1. So that will be stored in. So this result, so you can verify with calci. Okay, so see here. Sorry, there is a network lost. Okay, uh, 1 second. So this is the example. So we already seen. Uh, so that means here unsigned multiplication R0 R1. So when you are multiplying 0x f602 with 0x702, so you got the lower 32-bit value is 0xe604. Okay, so that is nothing but RD low. So RD low will be stored in R0, and similarly 0x701, that is RD high, that will be stored in R1. Okay, so this is how you can do signed multiplication and unsigned multiplication. Okay, so Next are shift and rotate instructions. So you have LSL, that is logical shift left, logical shift right, arithmetic shift left, arithmetic shift right, rotate right, rotate right extended by 1 bit. Okay, these are the shift, rotate and shift operations. So if you see the logical shift, so what the logical shift is, they will do, it will shift the left by 1 position, move each bit by left by 1. Okay, so that means it will shift the left by how much? 1 position. Okay. And whatever the vacant bit is there, so in the, when you are shifting towards left by 1 position, LSB will be vacant, no? So the whatever the vacant position is there, that will be loaded with 0, and MSB will be discarded. That means MSB will be gone. Okay, that can be discarded. So that is nothing but logical shift left. Okay, logical shift left, and that is we call as left shift also, left logical shift. Okay, so left logical shift or logical shift left. Okay, so this is logical shift right. Okay, so what the logical shift right will do, it will shift towards right. Okay, so whatever the vacant position present in the MSB is there, that will be loaded with 0, and LSB bit will be discarded. Okay, so MSB bit will be filled with 0, and LSB bit will be discarded. That is nothing but logical shift right. Okay, so next these are the examples you did. So let us consider this is a 32-bit value, 32-bit value FF. So that means all ones means this, if you convert into hexadecimal, that is F. All F's are there. Okay, so you are shifting towards left means by 4 times. Okay, so logical shift by how much? 4. 4 times you are shifting. So what happens? These MSB will go 4 times you shifted, no? So whatever this LSB value is there, that will be loaded with 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Logical shift right means here these values will be shifted towards right. Okay. And whatever the vacant position is there, that will be loaded with 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So suppose if you are shifting towards right by 1 position means MSB will be loaded with 0, 1, 0. How many times you are shifting? You are shifting towards right by 4 times. So that's why this is so that's why we call this whatever the MSB bit is there, that will is loaded with 4 zeros. Okay, so this is about logical shift operation. Arithmetic shift means what? Here in this you have arithmetic shift left and arithmetic shift right. Okay, so arithmetic shift of the 1 position moves bit left by. Okay, so see here. So that means logical shift and arithmetic shift left both are same. Okay, so that means it will left, it will shift left. So whatever the vacant position present in the LSB is there, that will be loaded with 0, and MSB will be discarded. So it is identical to logical shift, whatever we have seen the here. Okay, so you need to remember logical shift left and arithmetic shift left are both are same. Arithmetic shift right means here whatever the MSB is there, that MSB will be copied into this MSB. Again that MSB will be shifted towards right. Okay, this MSB will be shifted. This 1 will come here, this 0 will come here, 1 will come here, 1 will come here. Like this it will be shifted. Okay, this LSB will be discarded. Okay, so that means whatever this MSB is there, that will be retained and it will be shifted. Okay, so that is nothing but arithmetic shift right. Okay, so arithmetic shift right. So here LSB is discarded and the vacant MSB is filled with the previous bit. Okay, so what is the previous bit? MSB bit, previous MSB. Okay, so this is about arithmetic shift operation. So these are the example for arithmetic shift right. Okay, arithmetic shift right by 4 positions. Okay, rotate operation, if you see, so rotate function moves the bit in integer. So that means what the rotate instruction will do, so it will shift. So rotate right. So if you see the rotate right, so basically it will be right shift. Okay, the bits will be shifted towards right, and whatever the LSB will be there, LSB will come to the MSB. Okay, so LSB is there, LSB will come to the MSB. Okay, rotate right extended by 1 bit only. So that means This is rotate through carry. See here, rotate right through carry. So that means whatever the MSB is there, MSB will LSB is there, LSB will become to carry flag. Carry flag will go to the MSB. Okay. So here, so this is one example. RRX rotate right extended by 1 bit. Okay, extended by 1 bit only means, so here right shift. Okay, so carry flag will come over here. Carry flag will come 100. This will be shifted rotate right, and this one will be coming to the carry flag. Okay. So you know the barrel shifter, we have seen already seen the barrel shifter. So one operand is one operand. So you have two source registers Rn and Rm. So one operand present in Rn directly coming to the logic ALU arithmetic logic unit. But Rm is there. Rm is pre-processed through the barrel shifter. So as you know, the barrel shifter, this is a combinational circuit. This will shift. They will do the shifting operation. Shift right, rotate and shift operations will be done by the barrel shifter, and you are getting the result in. So these two will be processed in the ALU arithmetic logic unit. Okay. So this is the instruction format: operation, condition. So condition may be optional, and S is suffix. S is also optional. RD, Rn, and capital N. Okay. So barrel shifter is a functional unit which can be used to a number of different circumstances. So it can do arithmetic shift right, logical shift left, logical shift right, rotate right with 1 bit with extended. Okay, these operations can be done by the barrel shifter. Okay, so shift and rotate instructions, if you see, these are the examples. Uh, so all the instructions, all the registers can be shifted. So in the data processing instructions, they can be shifted within an instruction. Whatever the shifting operations is there, we can include within an instruction. See here, move R0 R1 arithmetic shift left by 3 positions. So that means whatever the R0 is there, you are shifting towards left by 3 times. After shifting left by 3 times, whatever the result is there, you are storing in R0. Similarly, move R0, R1, ASL R2. Okay. So R2 means what? R2 will be previously filled with some value. Okay. So like some value is there. Suppose R2 equal to 2 is there. So you are shifting arithmetic, you are doing arithmetic shift left uh, towards left, arithmetic shift left by how many times? 2 times. Okay. So that is move R0, R1, arithmetic shift left, R2. Similarly, move R0, R1, arithmetic shift right. Okay. So by 3 positions. Okay. Similarly, you can specify, that means first you have to initialize R2. So whatever the value is there, that value first you have to store in some register, either here R2. After that, you can specify how many times you need to shift, that you can specify within the register. Okay. So that is nothing but move R0, R1, arithmetic shift right, R2. Okay. So these are some examples. So as I told you, when you are doing shift left shift, the value will be multiplied by 2. So you are doing R0, R0, LSL 1. So LSL 1 means it becomes 2 R0. So multiply R0 by 2. So here you are doing logical shift right by 2 positions. So that means when you are doing uh, logical shift right, 1 position means that is divided by 2. 2 position means that is divided by 4. So see here, move R1, R1, logical shift right by how many times? 2 times. So that means whatever my R1 is there, that will be divided by 4. R1 is divided by 4. Similarly, move R2, R2, arithmetic shift right, hash 2. Hash 2 means this many times I need to shift right. Okay. So here also arithmetic shift right means that is divided by 4, but signed. If it is logical, that is unsigned. If it is a arithmetic, that is signed. Okay. So here move R3, R3, rotate right, hash 16 is there. So 16 times you need to do the rotate operation. Okay. So that means you are swapping the top and bottom halves of R3. Okay. So that means you are shifting towards right means you are swapping. So that means whatever the lower 16 bit, the lower 16 halves, that means 16 bit values are there, you are bringing to higher byte. Okay, so like this. Okay, so similarly add R4, 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 LSL, hash 4. So that means R4 will be multiplied with 4 and you are adding with R4. So that means multiplied R4 by how much? Here 17. That means here R4 comma LSL4 means it becomes uh, 4 twos are 8. Okay, 4 twos are how many times? 4 twos are 8. 8 R4 it becomes. Again 8, 8 plus 8. So it becomes 17. Like that you can analyze. Okay. So conditional execution means so one of the beneficial feature of ARM architecture is it is made the condition, that means it execute conditionally. So whatever the instruction is there, that it will be executed conditionally. Okay. So condition is specified with the two letters, that is suffix. Okay, that will comes after the operand. That will come some after the operand. That means after the operand you will get. Okay, EQ is nothing but equality. CC. These are some appended within the mnemonic. Okay, so condition test against the current processing flags. So that means it will test the conditional flags in the CPSR. Okay. Uh, so these are the conditions this is the instruction format: equal 0, not equal, carry set, unsigned, higher or same. Okay. So these flags. So this will operate with these flags. Okay. Minus or negate, that will be cooperating on negative flag. Plus or positive or 0, not of negative flag. Overflow, no overflow. Okay. So unsigned higher, unsigned lower or same. Signed greater than equal, signed less than, signed greater than, always. So these are some conditions. Okay. So this is the instruction format. Okay. So instruction with condition code only executed if the condition code flags in the CPSR meets specified condition. So when the condition is satisfied only, then only it will execute that instruction. Okay. If S is there means it will update the conditional flags in the CPSR register. Okay. So here is one example. Uh, so if R2 is not equal to 10, R5 equal to R5 plus 10 minus R3. So here you can write compare R2 with 10. You are comparing R2 with 10. So branch if equal, so skip. Branch if equal, skip. Branch B is nothing but branch. Okay, I will tell you about this branch instructions. Branch if equal, so the condition is there. So it will branch to skip if both are equal. Okay, if both are not equal, this condition is not satisfying. Simply it will come to the next instruction. What it will do? Add R5 comma R5 comma R2. So that means what is R2? 10. So R5 plus 10. Next you need to subtract. Okay, R5 comma R5 comma R3. So that means R5 plus 10 minus R3. Okay, so this is normal operation. Okay, this I taken from the NPTEL course Embedded System Design with ARM lecture 9, ARM instruction set. Okay, uh, suppose this same same thing you can write like this. You are comparing R2 comma hash 10, and this add instruction is there. Add if not equal. So what it will do? It will add. That means before adding, it will compare the content of R2 with R5. Okay. So content of R2 with R5. So that means, mm, so if R2 is not equal to 10, no? So that means what is R5? R5 is R2 is 10. Okay. So it will compare. So both are not equal, then it will come here. Next it will be added. So R5 plus 10 will be added. That will be that will be stored in R5. And next sub if not equal. Sub if not equal. The condition is there. Whatever the suffix is there, you are including within an instruction. Sub not equal. So that means if both are not equal, again it can subtract. So that means R plus 10 minus R3. that will be stored in R5. Okay, so like this we can include the condition within an instruction. Okay, this is another example. If R1 is not equal to R3 and R5 is equal to R6, R7 equal to R7 plus 10. So compare R1 with R3. Okay, so R1 with R3, branch if not equal, skip. Again compare R5 with R6, branch if not equal, skip. If both are equal, so these are equal and these are equal, you need to perform R7 plus 10. So add R7 comma R7 plus 10. So whatever the result you are getting, that you are storing in R7. The same instruction you can do. That means here how many instructions are there? Instructions you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total 5 instructions are there. But by using this we are using the condition within an instruction. These 5 instructions are decreased to 3 instructions. That means we can increase the code density. Okay. So see here, compare R1 comma R3. Okay. And next you need to compare R5 comma R6. If both are equal, okay. So compare means R1 and R3 we are comparing R1 minus R3. Okay. Both are equal or not, we are comparing. And compare R5 and R6, both are equal or not, we are comparing. If both are equal, then condition will be executed. So both are equal. What you need to do? You need to add R7 with 10. So you should save the result in R7. Okay. So these are about the data processing instructions. Okay. So next we will see the remaining instruction sets. Okay.